What's up, everybody? It's PB here, and welcome to Prophets of Geek Culture, or welcome back if you've been here before. If this is your first time, I'm glad you could join us. Well, you've either seen the thumbnail and clicked on it for that reason, or you read the title and you clicked on it for that reason, and you're like, well, what is this guy talking about? Has he lost his damn mind? Zack Snyder would never lie to us. He's not full of you-know-what. No, never. So, if you're excited to be illuminated about Zack Snyder, go ahead and hit that like button. Or, if you're not excited about it, I guess you could hit the dislike, but I don't understand why you would do that. I guess tell me in the comments below why you dislike the video. But I'm just here to, enlighten you on the situation. Because the point isn't to be first. The point is to be correct. And as you can see, this article is all the way from May 20th. So this video's been a long time coming. I just haven't gotten around to making it. I just am using this article because it's the one where I found the quote, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me, Zach. You've got to be kidding me. Unbelievable that you would say this and think that I'm supposed to believe you. Anyway, we'll get into it. So if you'd like to follow along, I'll get to the juicy stuff soon enough. But anyway, from the Hollywood Reporter, a real source. Not a General Zod raccoon source. This is a real source. It goes, it will be an entirely new thing. Zack Snyder's 20 million plus Justice League cut, plans revealed. Excellent. Okay, yeah, there's that smug son of a bitch. Sure. Oh, get off the screen, you piece of shit. HBO Max will debut the project in 2021, possibly in a 4-hour director's cut or in 6 TV-style chapters. Probably that one, because then you gotta stick around for another month to watch it. They won't make money. As the helmer gets the gang back together with the original post-production crew to score, cut, and finish the visual effects. Okay, cool. Whatever. Sure. It was very early on a Monday morning in November when director Zack Snyder and his wife producing partner Deborah Snyder received a call from their agent. Let's be a bit more precise. It was 7 a.m. So you can be precise. Okay, we can be precise. Good to know. But more importantly, it was the day after the second anniversary of the release of Justice League, the DC superhero movie that Snyder was forced to exit due to a family emergency, which was then substantially reshot and retooled by replacement director Joss Whedon. Yeah, okay, we all understand that. Cool. In the time since its release, something unusual happened. A growing movement of fans rallied by the hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. Yeah, we know that. Cool. Had called, agitated, petitioned, even bought a Times Square billboard and chartered a plane to fly a banner over Comic-Con for Snyder's version to be released. And on the film's second anniversary, the hashtag had its biggest day ever, with even the movie's stars, Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck, adding their voices on Twitter. Well, if the movie stars say that it's gonna happen, then it's gotta happen for sure. Well, we know it's happening, so, it's allegedly going to release it 2021. Cool, HBO Max, excellent. So here, the morning after, their agent saying that Toby Emmerich, chair of Warner Brothers, was acknowledging the movement and, more importantly, was willing to accede. This is real, people. People out there want it. Would you guys ever consider doing something? Was what Emmerich was asking, Zack Snyder recalls. Okay, so Zack Snyder, he remembers stuff. Okay, so he can remember stuff. That's good to know. The answer to Emmerich's question, a whispered about a secret for months, was revealed Wednesday when Snyder confirmed, at the end of an online screening of his 2013 movie Man of Steel, that his version of Justice League was indeed real. Okay, sure. At the end, and that it will be coming to HBO Max, the Warner Media digital streaming service, launching May 27th and is expected to debut in 2021. Okay, cool. Excellent. It is currently unclear what form Snyder's Justice League will take, whether it will be released in an almost 4-hour director's cut or split into 6 chapters has yet to be decided. But Snyder's But the Snyders are now in the midst of reassembling much of their original post-production crew to score, cut, and add new and finish old visual effects, and yes, maybe bring back many of the actors to record additional dialogue. Yeah, 'cause that's what's gonna make it better, is having Aquaman just cracking more jokes, 'cause I love Aquaman, but jokes is not gonna save the movie. That's not the point. Anyway, also unclear is the cost of the endeavor. One source pegged it around 20 million, although another source had the figure closer to 30 million. The parties involved had no comment. Cool. It will be an entirely new thing, especially talking to those who have seen the released movie. A new experience apart from that movie, Snyder tells The Hollywood Reporter, noting that, to this day, he has not watched the version released in theaters. Okay, cool. So he told The Hollywood Reporter, this is important. This is the important part of the story. This is what I wanted to focus on. He told The Hollywood Reporter that he has never, ever in his life, not one time, never once, seen the theatrical release of Justice League. As in, they took all of the footage that he had, and who knows how much of it they actually used? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody has an exact number, but he was never even curious to see how much of his footage they used, which way they use it. He never was curious at all. He never watched the theatrical version of Justice League. Okay, cool. That's what he says. But then he goes on. You probably saw 1/4 of what I did. Notes. How in the hell? What? No. One of these statements has to be a lie. Either you never saw the movie, or you know roughly how much of your work we saw. Zack, you need to choose one. It has to be one or the other. Like, how am I supposed to believe, oh, I never saw it, but yeah, you probably saw about 1/4. I never saw Justice League, but I can give you an estimation. You would be more believable if you would just say, I don't know how much of my cut you saw, because like you just said before in the previous fucking quote, your fucking quote, you fucking said it. Let's just scroll back up real quick. What did he say? He said, noting, to this day, he has not watched the version released in theaters. He's never seen it. Never seen it. But then you can tell me that we've seen 1/4 of your work. You need to pick one, guy. Pick one. One or the other. You either saw it and know roughly how much we saw, because yeah, it would be tough to see an exact percentage, or you never saw it, so maybe don't give a percentage. Be like, I don't know how much you saw, but you kind of backed yourself into a corner like a fucking idiot. Like, you fucking lied to all of us. All of the people who are Snyder fans, all of the people who hate Zack Snyder, all of the people who love Justice League, hate Justice League, everybody under the sun, Zack Snyder lied to you about what he knows and what he does not know. You have no reason to trust him whatsoever. So if he wants to make his cut, and then he goes, oh yeah, you can have my cut, which apparently if there was a cut, why do you need another $20 to $30 million if you have a cut that you've allegedly shown to all of the stars in the movie? And they're like, oh yeah, man, that freaking Snyder cut, that's where it's at. Why don't you just fucking release it? What do you need another check for? You've got to be kidding me, Zack. Unbelievable. But I do believe, now that we've moved on past that little rant, that there is one more nugget of a lie left in this article, possibly. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read it, so just stick with me. Stick with me. I might just, go off one more time. But if you appreciate rants, go ahead and hit the like button. Stick around. It might happen again. Anyway, let's get back to this article. Before Emmerich came calling, says Snyder, I always thought it was a thing that in 20 years, maybe somebody would do a documentary and I could lend them the footage, little snippets, a cut no one has ever seen. Okay, yeah, people do that for documentaries. But ads, Deborah, with the new platform and streaming services, you can have something like this. You can't release something like this theatrically, but you could with a streaming service. It's an opportunity that wasn't there 2 years ago, to be honest. You are full of crap, Deborah. There weren't streaming services 2 years ago, to be honest. What? Are you kidding me? There wasn't Netflix 2 years ago? There wasn't Amazon Prime 2 years ago? There wasn't Hulu 2 years ago? I forgot that she said this! I didn't realize I was gonna go off in the very next paragraph! You gotta be kidding me, Deborah! There's been streaming services for like a decade, damn near! And you don't think there was streaming services 2 years ago that could have had a 4-hour director's cut or 6 blocks of however the hell you're gonna chop it up so that you can get people to stick around for another month of subscriptions? Yeah, okay, whatever. It's a very unlikely development. Oh, yeah, okay. And the latest twist for a movie that has, like, the Man of Steel himself, seen death and rebirth. Oh my god, like, Justice League itself never died, but whatever! Snyder was in a unique position when he shot Justice League in 2016. Warner Brothers had entrusted its universe of DC characters to one filmmaker, him. And he had been building toward a great on-screen team-up. Though not without some bumps on the road, he began with Man of Steel, which grossed $668 million worldwide, then followed up with Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I mean, they call it Dawn of Justice, I call it Dawn of Trash. 'Cause that's what it is. The 2016 blockbuster that polarized fans with its dark take on the iconic titular heroes and took in $873 million globally. In January 2017, Snyder had what he considered his optimal version of Justice League. Almost 4 hours long, although he knew it was something that the studio would not release. Good call, Zack, way to go. Jesus, oh my god. Warner's wanted a cut in the 2-hour range, and he delivered a rough version with an approximate 2-hour, 20-minute runtime. That was the first cut the studio saw. Both sides agreed that there was much work still to be done before the November release, but tragedy struck when the Snyders when their daughter Autumn died by suicide a month and a half later. Snyder officially stepped away and Whedon was brought in. Like, that's tragic. I hope that never happens to anybody ever, and I'm sad that it happened to him. That sucks, and that's one of the worst things that can ever happen to somebody. Having your child die, it's unnatural. Children are not supposed to die before their parents. It's wrong. Everything about that is wrong, and for him to leave was perfectly okay. That's not the point here. League? You kind of skipped a word there. League opened. League opened? Okay, I'll fill it in for Justice League. Opened November 17th to weak reviews and sluggish box office, eventually taking in $658 million worldwide. That is pathetic. However, almost immediately a movement was born. Fans unhappy with the film created the now infamous hashtag, a change.org petition. Their petition was on their ridiculous position. Whatever. For Warner's to release Snyder's version had already garnered over 100,000 signatures less than 5 days after the movie's release. Cool. Whatever. Forget the version of the fans wanted technically didn't exist. Oh! There you go. We agree. What did exist was a semi-unfinished work with no visual effects, no post-production. Right, so there was no cut. Cool. One person who had seen that version described it like a car with no panels, just a drivetrain and some seats. That's not a car. It just sat on a hard drive in Snyder's house. When we left the movie, I just took the drive of the cut on it, says Snyder, I honestly never thought it would be anything. Oh, yeah, so it was just sitting there, so just fucking release. Oh, you can't release it because it's not a cut, because it was never done. Anyway, in the year following their daughter's death, the Snyders closed circles around their family as they tried to heal from their tragedy. The first year was about the milestones in the holidays, recalled Deborah. Now it's not about those moments, like songs that trigger memories that hit me unexpectedly. Adds the director, as a family, as a couple, I think we have grown in a way that made us stronger. We're doing our best. You really can't hope for more. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you gotta persevere, I guess. The duo has also become involved in suicide prevention charity work and plotted to return to the movies with an army of the dead. Oh, okay, cool. Meanwhile, hashtag Release the Snyder Cut became more organized and visible, gaining mainstream media attention. Snyder fed into the movement by occasionally teasing images from his movie or storyboards on social media, in some ways only stoking the hot embers, and he saw some of the seeds he planted in his movies, especially in his castings of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman and Momoa as Aquaman, grow into gardens as the spin-offs became pop culture phenomenons and billion-dollar hits. Wonder Woman didn't make $1 billion, so there was billion-dollar hit. Oh, I don't remember the guy who wrote this article, but you got some mistakes, guy. Whoever your editor is, get on it. It was the 2-year anniversary, however, and that the zenith was reached when the hashtag became the top world trend. Hashtag Release Snyder Cut is the most tweeted hashtag about a movie that the WB has ever had, but it's a movie they've never released, says Snyder. It's weird. It's a weird stat, but it's cool. It's a dumb fucking stat, but whatever. It's like, how many passes have you completed on second down to the right side over fucking 7 yards but under 10? Pointless stats. Anyway, after the Saturday morning phone call, the Snyders began the move to move puzzle pieces into place. We had to figure out what it meant to finish it and how to pull it off, recalls Deborah. The couple put it together a presentation in the early February, invited a select group of executives from Warner Brothers, HBO Max, and DC to their house in Pasadena to screen Snyder's little screen version that was shown in black and white. Okay. The number of execs in the room, there were more than a dozen in attendance, ranging from Warner's Emmerich, Caroline Blackwood, and Walter Hamada to HBO Max's Kevin Riley, Sarah Aubrey, and Sandra Dewey, and DC's Jim Lee, showed the importance of the potentially extensive undertaking. Oh, extensive. Heads of physical production and business affairs were there to assess what needed to be done and how much it would cost at the presentation after the screening. Snyder outlined ideas of not just releasing the cut, but the concept of episodes and cliffhangers. Ooh, to make more money, HBO Max is like, yeah, let's bring that money in. The executives left the meeting pumped. The Snyder Cut was real. Except then, it almost wasn't. The novel coronavirus struck, and Hollywood all but shut down in mid-March, says Deborah. People thought it won't be possible to ramp up, and that maybe this should go on the back burner. But we said no, this is the right time because our visual effects house that relies so much are running out of work, so now is the time to do this. It also helped that many of those post facilities had held on to those original assets. Oh, interesting. Snyder also spent April and this month reaching out, which was May. Sorry, I'm recording this so late. To the sizable cast and giving the heads up to the development and letting them know that the services may be needed. The first person called, Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg, was like, "You kidding me, right?" Recalls the director. Jesus Christ. There is no schedule going forward at this stage for the project, as talks are now beginning with post-production houses, which also gives HBO Max plenty of time to find the best way to present this version of Justice League. Snyder, at the same time, is... Oh, fuck, I read that all wrong. Let's try again. Snyder is at the same time in post-production of Army of the Dead. his zombie thriller for Netflix that is also to debut in 2021. Cool. For the Snyders, the chance to revisit the movie also brings the prospect for closure on the project that they were forced to let go. This movie was the culmination of a hero's journey that all these characters went on, says Deborah, and the idea was always to build up to the heroes. What? And the idea was always to build them up to be the heroes people expected them to be. You wrote the story, Deborah? I thought this was Zack's story. Ugh. Whatever. And while the cut will contain the many elements Snyder teased over time, yes, expect Darkseid. Yeah, that'll make it all okay, because Darkseid is in the movie. Yay, Snyder! His vision was justified, because we all saw Darkseid. The duo also relish adding a fair amount of character development. They would have to add about 20 fucking hours. Maybe that's an overestimate, but they'd have to add about 3 movies, because BVS was trash. What's so lovely about this is we get to explore these characters in a way that you're not able to in a shorter theatrical version. So now Justice League is a TV show, a miniseries. Cool. The Snyders know that fan power is what led to the Snyder Cut becoming a reality. Clearly, this wouldn't be happening without them, says the director. He also credits Warner's for living up to its old reputation as the filmmakers' studios. Okay, sure, adds Snyder. This return to the pedigree and to let my singular vision of my movie be realized in this format, in this length, is unprecedented and a brave move. No, it ain't fucking brave, Zack. It's not brave at all. I don't see how it's brave. You needed a check. You're getting paid to do this. It's not like you're not getting paid to put this on again. What? You think you're not getting paid? So, Boris Kit? Boris. Oh man, we got Russians freaking writing these articles. Hollywood Reporter. Come on. Whoever edited this, get it together. These plans look terrible. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you did not like this video, just fucking move on with your life. We don't fucking care. This was the Prophets of Geek Culture. Go check out Stevie J Reviews, Perp Minded, Cybernetic Husky, and General Zod. Tell him that I told you that he can fuck off. And until next time, everybody, I, Pop Culture PB, bid you adieu.